Hello everyone, welcome to Savi tutorial on fluid mechanics and hydraulic missions lab. Today we are discussing an experiment on determination of vane coefficient for a flat and curved vane. So the aim of the experiment is to determine the coefficient of impact of jet vane combination by comparing the actual force with the theoretical force for a stationary vane of different shape, that is a flat and curved vane. So the apparatus required are impact testing machine, stopwatch and vane. So we have two types of vanes here. One is a flat and curved vane. So we are determining a vane coefficient for these two types of vanes by comparing the actual force with the theoretical force. So coming to the theory, see, when a jet of water is directed to hit the vane of any particular shape, so the force is exerted by the fluid on the opposite direction. So what happens? So by the way, what is jet means? So whatever the liquid which is flows out of the nozzle. So if this is a nozzle, so which is fitted to a pipe, so whatever the water which is flows through this nozzle, that is called a jet of water. So this jet of water is going to exert a force on the plate, on the vane or a plate. We'll say it as vane, or we also say it as a plate. So we are going to determine that force. So the impact. So impact is nothing but here it is a force exerted by that particular jet of water on a vane. So we are going to determine that force which is exerted by the jet on flat and a curved vane. So the amount of force exerted depends upon the diameter of the jet. So basically whatever the force which is exerted by the jet depends upon the diameter, shape of the vane, fluid density and the flow rate of a water. And also more importantly, it is also depends whether the vane is moving or a stationary. So the amount of this force depends on the whether the plate, this particular plate is moving or it is a stationary. So in the present case, so we are taking all the stationary vanes. So we are determining the vane coefficient for the stationary, flat and curved vane. So let us see the procedure. So the first what you have to do is you have to fix the jet and the vane. So whatever, if you are doing it for a flat, and then you have to fix a flat vane. Okay, so of a required shape, so in position, and so first of all you have to make the force indicator to 0. So what you have to do is you have to fix the vane. Okay, so if you are doing it for flat, you have to fix the flat vane, and after that you have to make the force indicator to 0. And after making it the force indicator 0, so then what you have to do is, so you have to keep the delivery valve closed. Okay, you have to close the delivery valve, and after that you have to switch on the pump. Okay, so once you switch on the pump, so then what happens? So you have to close the front transparent cover. So you will be having a front transparent cover. So inside that you're going to fix a vane. So I'll show you the figure. So what is that later? So you have to close the transparent cover. So then you have to open the delivery valve. So next step is you have to open the delivery valve and adjust the flow rate of water. So which has reads on the rotometer. So you will be having a rotometer to control the rate of flow. Like, you have to increase like step by step. Like first you have to, increase the flow to 5 meter cube per second, and later 5, 10, 15. Like this you have to increase successively for next trials. So once you open the delivery valve, so what you have to do is, so you have to adjust the rate of flow using a rotometer. So after that the water will flow through the nozzle and gets hit the flat vane which is fixed. Okay, So after that, you can observe the force as indicated on the force indicator. So once you vary the discharge through the rotometer, what happens? So if this is a vein, so water is going to hit the vein and it will show you, so what is the amount of force where the jet is hitting the vein. So that force will be given by the force indicator. So you have to note down the force which is exerted by the jet of water on the vein using force indicator. So now after that, so you have to note down the diameter. So initially itself you note down the diameter of the jet, okay, and shape of the vein and the flow rate, force, and tabulate the result. So what you have to do, so here first you take, measure the diameter. You just note down the diameter of the jet, and after that which type of vein you are using, and after that once you vary the rate of flow, so you note down the discharge value also, and after that it will show the force, how much amount of force that jet is exerting on the flat vein through the force indicator. So you record that force, so that force will be your actual force. So and later you switch off the pump. So you have to repeat this procedure by increasing the discharge, okay, for different rate of flow values you have to repeat the procedure. And after that what you have to do is you have to switch off the pump, okay, and close the delivery valve and open that flat vein and fixed a new curved vein and repeat the procedure, okay. So and here, so the observations what you're going to record is, one is the area of the collecting tank, so capital A. So you're going to take the area of the collecting tank, and acceleration due to gravity is 9.81 meter per second square, and diameter of the jet you're going to note down, and the density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. So let us see the calculation and formulas. See the formulas required, you're going to conduct for two types of veins. So one is for a flat vein and for the semicircular or a curved vein. Okay, we call it as curved or semicircle or hemispherical. Okay, so you have a formula to calculate the theoretical force. So theoretical force Ft is calculated as rho a v square by g, which is in terms of kgs. So that is kilogram second. So similarly, for a semicircular vein, so you have a formula to calculate the theoretical force, rho a v square by g into 1 plus cos theta. Okay, so this is the formula to calculate the theoretical force. So anyway, the actual force you're going to record it, that is through the force indicator. And the discharge QD is calculated as Q by, so first whatever the rotometer reading, so the rate of flow you're going to vary the rate of flow for different trials. So that rotometer reading is in terms of LPM. So very first you have to convert that discharge in terms of LPM to meter cube per second. Okay, so for that whatever the rotometer reading is there, so that rotometer reading Q you have to divide it by 60 and divide it by 1000 to convert it into meter cube per second, because so that 5 LPM, so the rotometer will show the values in terms of LPM. Okay, so you have to convert that into meter cube per second. So once you calculate this charge, so you will get the velocity head. So that is, you know, the continuity equation, Q is equal to what? Area into velocity. From that you will get the velocity. So that is Q by area. So area you can calculate because you will be having diameter of the jet. So from that area is pi d square by 4, you will get it. So once you get the area and discharge, you can calculate the velocity. Okay, so after that you velocity, because see here in both the formulas, so rho a v square by g, rho a v square by g, area is area of the jet. Okay, and v is the velocity which is required, so that's why, so q, so that v is calculated using the discharge divided by area of the jet. Okay, so this, once you calculate the theoretical and the actual discharge will be directly, you're going to get it from the force indicator. Okay, So you can calculate the vane coefficient or coefficient of impact, so as actual force by theoretical force. So that you will get it as the vane coefficient or coefficient of impact. The impact is nothing but just a force exerted by jet on the vane. So you can see here there are two types of the figures for the flat and curved vane. So you can see here this is a flat vane and this is a curved vane. So next, when it comes to the tabular column, so the tabular column is like this. See here for a flat vane and semicircular vane. So you're going to conduct 3 trials, okay? And the actual force, that is in kgf, so kilogram force, okay? So kgf, kilogram force. So you will get it directly from the force indicator, okay? So you're going to record it directly for different rate of flow. So this rotometer reading Q, you're going to increase it like 5, 10, 15. Like this, you're going to increase. And after this, see this rotometer reading is in LPM. So you have to convert that into meter cube per second. So that is divided by 60 divided by 1000. Okay. So you will get the Q in meter cube per second. So same quantity of force for a semicircular vane also. So you have to increase the rotometer reading like 5, 10, 15. Okay. So after converting Q to meter cube per second, so you have to calculate the velocity, that is Q by area. So you'll get the velocity, and once you get the velocity, you have to calculate the theoretical force using the formulas, that is rho a v square divided by g for a flat and the curved vane. So you will get the ft values, that is theoretical force. So and the actual force is the force indicator value, that is the first reading what you're going to record it. So this actual force divided by theoretical force, you'll get the vane coefficient, and you have to take the average of those 3 trials. You'll get the mean value, that is your vane coefficient for a flat vane and the semicircular vane. So the result will be the coefficient of impact of jet on semicircular and flat vane. So which is nothing but the vane coefficient for 2 types of vanes. So if you see the experimental setup, see here, this is how the experimental setup will be there. So you'll be having a start. It is, to start the pump, you'll be having here switches. And this is a force indicator, which will show you the actual force. And this is a rotometer, okay? And this is a valve to vary this rotometer reading. So this is the experimental setup. See, this is a transparent cover, so which you have to close once you fix the vane. See here, you'll be having a vane. So you have to fix the vane here, okay, inside it. And this is a nozzle, so where the jet comes and hits this vane. So you can see here, this is a vane, how it is looks. So what you have to do, first you have to switch on the pump, and after that you have to make this force indicator reading to 0. And after that, once you make the rotometer reading to 0, and very first you have to fix the vane. Okay, so first you have to fix the vane, switch on the pump, and make the force indicator to 0. And using this discharge valve, you vary the rotometer reading. So here there is a reading, so you increase the rate of flow. So once you vary the rate of flow, the jet through the nozzle, so the water, so the liquid jet through the nozzle will come and hits the vane, and that will show you. Then at that case, a force indicator will show you the value. So that will be your actual force. Okay, and after that, so you are going to record this rotometer reading also to get the velocity, and that velocity is used to calculate theoretical force. So and once you get theoretical and actual force, so you can calculate the vane coefficient, that is actual force to the theoretical force. And you have to repeat this procedure by varying this rotometer reading for 3 trials. And once you're done with this flat vane, So you have to remove this transparent cover and you have to remove the fixed flat vein and you have to fix a curved vein. So you have to fix curved vein, and once again you have to make the force indicator 0. You have to vary the discharge. So then again water will go and hit the vein. So that will show you the actual force. So that also you have to repeat the procedure for 3 trials, and later you have to calculate the vein coefficient for both the types of veins. So that is your experiment on determination of impact of jet on a flat and the curved vein. So both are stationary veins. Thank you all. So we'll see the next experiment in the next video.